Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Impact Money Show, Impact Money Nation, where we cut through the noise, deliver the truth, and sprinkle in just enough humor to keep you awake without your third coffee. I'm your host, Bruce Porter Jr., broadcasting live from the swamp. The beautiful capital of the United States, Washington, D.C. And today I'm joined by my brother, the one and only Sir David Porter, who's here to keep me honest, or at least keep me from rambling too long. Say hi, Dave.
Hey, what's good, Impact Money crew? I'm David Porter here, and we're ready to drop some knowledge and maybe a few jokes. Bruce, you're looking extra caffeinated. Did you sleep in the studio again?
Oh, man, I'll tell you. Guilty as charged, Dave. The studio couch is comfier than my bed. Anyway, all right, let's kick things off with the weather here in D.C. because nothing screams capital vibes like checking the forecast. It's a balmy 68 degrees Fahrenheit out there, folks. No precipitation, so you can leave the umbrella at home. Humidity at a sticky 93%, so your hair is going to look like a science experiment by noon. And the wind, a gentle 5-mile-an-hour breeze, just have to blow your MAGA hat into the Potomac if you're not careful. I'll tell you what, I ended up stuck in a trade last night, so I didn't even sleep that well. Of course, I'm just getting over my sickness as well. And then I woke up, was able to close my trade in profit and go back to sleep. I was really happy about it.
I mean, this weather's perfect, so we're all good there, full force, right? And it's perfect if you're out in D.C. protesting something. D.C. loves to protest. And speaking of hot topics, Bruce, let's dive into the news, starting with the man who's never in the headlines. Never there, Donald Trump.
Never not in the headlines, that's true. The Donald J. Trump, the 47th president. He's been busy, Dave, stirring the pot like it's his job. And maybe it is. Fresh off his Middle East tour, he's making waves. Reuters reports he's inching closer to a nuclear deal with Iran, which is wild, considering how many hawks in D.C. thought that was dead on arrival. He's floating this freedom zone idea for Gaza, which sounds like a Trump-branded theme park, but it's actually a plan to rebuild parts of the Strip. Problem is, Hamas isn't buying it. Senior official Bassem Name called it a non-starter, saying Gaza is not real estate for sale. This freedom zone sounds like something we're putting together in Lieberland.
A freedom zone. That's a peak Trump slapping a catchy name on a geopolitical minefield. But here's where it gets spicy. Trump's tour has ruffled feathers in Israel. Netanyahu's feeling sidelined. Bruce, the Washington Post says Trump's been bypassing Bibi on deals like the one to the free American hostage, Eden Alexander from Hamas, and a surprise truce with the Houthis. It's like Trump's playing 4D chess while Netanyahu's stuck in checkers.
Well, old Polakov or whatever his name is. He's actually, he's Polish guy. He's from Poland. But anyway, I think this is all contrived. Personally, I think the whole thing is an act. Trump wanted to go over to the Middle East. He wanted to bring home the big deals, and he knew that he had to distance himself from his buddy, Bibi, in order to do it. And so that's exactly what they did. They dreamed up the whole thing. There's a rift. They don't like each other anymore. It's all over. Trump runs over there. He brings in the big deals. And then behind the scenes, what's going on? You see over the last 24 hours, the Israelis again are bombing everybody. They killed over 100 people. Most of them are women and kids. It's absolutely horrible. Anyway, Trump's out there freelancing this foreign policy like it's a reality show. I mean, he loves that, right? I mean, he just absolutely loves it. CNN's reporting gaps between him and Netanyahu over Yemen, Syria sanction, and even the Gaza ceasefire talks. But remember, the CNN and these news medias, I mean, these are all controlled medias. They're all on the take. Axios says Biden's old team is awed by how fast Trump moves, but Israel's like, hey, can we get a heads up? Meanwhile, of course, this is all the official narrative. Okay, the official narrative. Meanwhile, Trump's also eyeing a sit down with Putin to end the Ukraine-Russia war, although the BBC says he's admitted to peace talks are stalled without a face-to-face. The guy's juggling more drama than the Real Housewives reunion.
Speaking of juggling, let's talk about another guy who's got a million pieces spinning. Elon Musk. What's the latest with their favorite galactic entrepreneur?
I really love this guy. You know, Elon, he's like, actually, have you heard the latest conspiracy theory that there's 3 or 4 different versions of Elon?
I don't doubt it. I feel like
know.
Compare and contrast.
I know. That's actually, when you hear it, you're like, well, hold on a second. I could almost buy that. I'll have to find the article about it, but there's one Elon and that he's taking us to space, and there's another Elon who's doing this, and there's another Elon he's doing, but they were all
Well,
they were all, basically not petri dished, but maybe kind of petri dish out, all basically the same person. Elon's been quiet on X lately, which is pretty crazy. No spicy memes or cryptic tweets. I mean, give the guy a break. He's traveling on the other side of the world. We just got back, as you know, David. And I mean, shoot, man, I was laid out for like 5 days. I was sick as a dog. But he's still making moves. He was spotted at lunch with Trump, of course, and the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman in Riyadh. And if you notice, they put Elon Musk right there behind Mohammed bin Salman so that you couldn't hardly take a picture of Mohammed, the Crown Prince, without having Elon Musk in the background. Sounds like a power trio plotting the world dominance over the humus. On the tech front, Tesla stock is up as they roll out the new Cybertruck variants, and SpaceX just nailed another Starlink launch. But the big buzz is X Corp. Rumors are swirling that they're integrating AI to moderate content faster than you can say free speech absolutist. And I'll tell you what, there's probably red flags going off.
Trump and Elon having lunch together, that's like Superman and Batman grabbing coffee. Hey, let's pivot over to the Ukraine war, Bruce, because things are heating up. Again, what's the latest from the front lines?
It's grim, Dave. Reuters says Ukraine's pushed for a ceasefire and talks with Russia in Istanbul today, but they're not holding their breath. Trump's been vocal, says Kiev's got to cut a deal and forget Crimea, which has Zelensky team fuming. Axios reports that Trump ditched the support Ukraine forever stance, negotiating directly with Putin. Meanwhile, Russian nationalists are pressuring Putin to keep fighting. So both sides are stuck in this macho standoff. It's like watching 2 bulls lock horns while the world holds its breath. And one bull wears a tutu and dances around like a girl.
I mean, war is just terrible. At least Trump says he doesn't want the wars. Now let's tackle another tough one, the ongoing conflict in Gaza. The news is calling it a genocide in Palestine, a genocide by Palestine, of Palestine by Israel. What's the latest going on there?
Well, it's heavy stuff, Dave. It's
hard
they call it a genocide. Well, it is a genocide. You can't call it anything else. It's what it is. The Guardian and Reuters report the Israeli airstrikes killed at least 85 people in Gaza on Thursday. That's yesterday. Over 100 dead in the past 48 hours. The Palestinian Ministry of Health says the death toll since October 23rd is over 53,000 people. It's mostly women and children. When you fight a war, you put men up against men. Or if you want to throw women in there, I don't really think you should, but whatever. But you don't kill the women and the kids, and that's a genocide, and that's against everything that humans stand for. Israel's ramping up their operations, planning to seize more territory and displace half of Gaza's 2.3 million people to southern zones. Aid is blocked, and the UN warns of famine. 500,000 Palestinians are starving. These are people. Trump's ceasefire push stalled, and his freedom zone plan is getting the eye rolls from Hamas.
It's heartbreaking, and Netanyahu's coalition is doubling down, despite 70% of Israelis wanting a hostage deal over more war. Per The Atlantic, Trump's tour was supposed to cool things off, but NPR says it's been more about weapons deals and serious sanctions than Gaza peace. Speaking of that tour, what else happened, Bruce?
Trump's Middle East jaunt has been a whirlwind. He hit Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the UAE. You know, he hit the UAE on Friday, which was he got there yesterday, I guess. So as you know, but for our viewers, you know, Friday in Dubai, it's kind of, they did change the week, so now Friday's kind of a half work day or whatever, but that's really their Sabbath day, right? So Thursday is like their Friday. So you think of how you are on Friday. That's still, even though they changed it a little bit, how people are on Thursday leading into Friday. So Trump arrives on Thursday, and I understand you got to fit everything in, but does some stuff there yesterday, and then today, as you know, is basically very, very light day over there. So they're doing some good stuff. I've seen some jokes about the girls waving their hair around or whatever else. I don't know if you've seen that video. You know, they try to give them the good stuff, and I think that's awesome. It's great that they do that and that everybody wants to work for us. You know, these big deals, now we need to follow through. It's like Matt Dixon said yesterday, it's easy to sign these things, okay? It's easy to sign them. Now, what actually happens is you know, that's that you know, the devil is in the details, right? So he's inking billion-dollar deals. He's meeting with the Syria's interim president, Ahmed al-Shara, which, of course, is a former wanted guy. He had $10 million on his head from the U.S. Pretty interesting situation there. He lifted Syria's sanctions. Israel's all upset about that, of course. You know, he brokered the Houthi, well, supposedly, you know, it's all theater. He brokered the Houthi truce that, and of course, left Polakov or Netanyahu out in the cold. CNN says there's more substance to the trip than the White House let on, which I'm sure there is. But it's also sparked a storm back home over the gift of the new Air Force One. He got the new jet from Qatar, and everybody is upset. They are really upset. And you know, it was interesting. I watched a clip, and he said, "You know, you guys, this is ridiculous." He says, "I could tell him, oh no, 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 oh no, no, no. I'm going to pay. We're going to pay for this. Let me give you $1 billion or $400 million or whatever it is." And it'd be, you know, so dumb, right? And instead, he says, "Thank you very much." He says, "Thank you very much." And that's what you're supposed to say when somebody does that. He says, you know, there's a great golfer, Snide or something like that. And he said, when someone gives you the putt, you say, "Thank you very much." And you pick up your ball and you go on to the next hole. You don't sit there, no, 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 no. Let me knock this in and then possibly mess it up. You say, "Thank you very much." And you take your $400 million jet and you fly that bad boy home. My man Sean Gahuli's back here. David, back on the show. Let's go.
Hey, what's up, Sean?
Mr. Gil Hooley in the house. Dear gentlemen, Dr. Oleg, our friend, with a comment. I'll read it. Your discussion resonates deeply with the shifting dynamics of global leadership and strategic influence. From my perspective, the historic visit of President Donald Trump to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia marked a new paradigm, not only in the U.S., the Middle East relations, but in how global alliances can redefine energy, technology, sovereign leadership. What Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman has achieved in positioning the kingdom is future-driven hub. From Noam to the, and he might continue, but that's all I got on there. Always good to see you, Dr. Oleg, and always good to see you, my main man, Sean Gil Smoothie.
Hey, Bruce, so what's going on with the AI world? What's the latest? This thing moves fast as all these wars we were just talking about.
Well, I'll tell you what, it really is interesting. So one of the things, and I talk about some other stuff, but right off the cuff, I was reading like I always do, right? And there are the chat bots that they have on ChatGPT are organized. They organize themselves.
I bet that's what they're supposed to do.
Yeah. So they organize themselves. They create their own languages to talk to each other.
We
And
were
they
all
even,
worried about this.
yes, and they even influence, and even a small group of them can influence the whole pack to do something else, just like with humans. I mean, it's crazy. There's obviously no going back, and this reminds me of Facebook, and nobody really talks about it anymore. But years ago, they had their chatbots going, and they were experimenting with the chatbots on Facebook, and the chatbots started talking to each other in their own language, and so Facebook didn't know what to do, so they just killed chatbots. You know what I mean? And but yeah, the AI is alive. The future is pretty wild. AI is on fire. XAI is on fire. Elon's baby just dropped the new Grok 3 update that's got tech nerds geeking out. It's a deep search mode. It's got a deep search mode that scours the web iteratively for answers, like digital blood, the market for AI. Plus, Google's AI powering the new Pixel 9 features like Audio Magic Eraser for video sound editing. And here's the kicker: AI is also raising ethical flags. People are buzzing about the biases in the AI models, with some saying they're too woke or not woke enough. Pick a side, people, but here's the thing. With what we just talked about, AI and these aren't just language models, okay? Grok's not just a language model, okay? ChatGPT is not a language model. This is influencing how the world and how human beings are interacting. AI is influencing. It's not just there. It is influencing how things happen. And it is alarming. It's interesting. It's really something else.
Well, we're really going to move forward with them into the robotics. And hopefully they can focus less on what political stance they have and just make our lives easier, get our things done so we can have fun out here.
It's all fun and games until they all want to have a family, right? The robotics is wild. Boston Dynamics Spot robot just got a new arm that can pick up objects with creepy precision. Meanwhile, Tesla's Optimus robot is reportedly being tested in factories, folding clothes and stacking boxes. But the real gem, a Japanese startup that unveiled a sushi-making robot that's faster than Gordon Ramsay on a good day. Say goodbye to your local sushi chef. My wife would love this thing.
This is what I'm talking about. Let's get sushi from our robots. I'd love this idea. Let's take a look at the markets, Bruce. I mean, gold, silver, crypto. Where's the money going?
Well, buckle up, David, because it is a wild ride. Gold's at 32.08, down 0.55%. Investors are nervous about Trump's Iran deal. Silver's at 32.43, off 70.76%. The DXY, this is the US dollar index, is at 100.71. It's down 0.17. It's been a bit of a wild ride over the evening. It's down 0.17% as the yen strengthens to 145.46 against the US dollar. Crypto is a mixed bag. Bitcoin is quote unquote soaring at 103,757, up 1.76%. Ethereum's at 2611, up 2.48%. Solana's up slightly, 171.46.18%. Dogecoin, the doggy coin, one of my favorites, at 2267, which is up about 1/3%. Litecoin's at 100.09, which is up 3%. But XRP is down 2.57% at 240. So
that's right. Crypto is the roller coaster, so buckle up. And how are we doing in the stock market?
U.S. stock futures are green, pointing towards a opening that everybody's going to like. Dow futures, unless you're short on the market. Dow futures at 42,519, up 0.32%. S&P 500 futures at 59.48, which is up about 0.25%. NASDAQ futures at 21,459, which is up 0.28. And the Hong Kong Stock Exchange is down, though, at 23.45, down about 0.5%. China's economy is still wobbly. Meanwhile, crude oil is at 61.44, which is down about 1/3%. The markets are jittery, Dave, but the bulls are still running.
Good. I love when the bulls are running because it makes it easy. So we have this post from James Comey. Did you catch it? 8647.
Oh, Comey. Yeah, he's stirring the pot. You know, it's interesting because these people, you know, this is what I talk about, the untouchables. You know, Don Jr. posts about it. Oh, look, James Comey just casually, you know, says that he wants to assassinate my father. And I kind of stay out of it most of the time, but he's posted, well, why doesn't your father do something about it? I mean, if you think that he's threatening to assassinate him, why doesn't he do anything? Nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. So James Comey posted 8647 on social media. 86 in the restaurant industry and everything is like finish it, end it. 47, of course, is Trump's 47th president. So 8647. So we posted that, I think, on Instagram. And DHS and Secret Service are calling it a veiled threat against Trump. 8 letters, 6 words, 4 syllables, 7 words, and some cryptic nonsense. I mean, whatever. Everyone is screaming. And like I said, Comey is untouchable, like the Clintons and the Federal Reserve bankers. Nothing's going to happen. These elites play by different rules, and I still don't know why, Dave.
Well, they're also bringing up another issue about the birthright citizenship and the 14th Amendment. Trump's pushing to end it. What's the deal there?
Trump's arguing birthright citizen tied to the 14th Amendment is being exploited by illegal aliens. The amendment was meant to ensure citizenship for freed slaves post-Civil War, not anchor babies. It is a hot topic. Some call it common sense. Others say it's un-American. The Supreme Court's debating it, but good luck changing a constitutional amendment. It's like herding cats in Congress. I'll say this. There's a lot of countries that do the birthright citizenship. It is not only the United States. You can, you know, I was talking, of course, I was just over in Lieberland there for a little while. On my ride back, I caught a ride with a gentleman who was a self-described immigration, you know, specialist. And he was telling me, you know, you born, you know, have your kid born here, have him born there, you know, do this and that. So we're not the only ones who do it, okay? But it is being exploited a lot. It was set up to make sure that the slaves that were here could become citizens, and that there wasn't like some, you know, oh, no, you weren't included in this initial thing, you know, or whatever. They wanted to make sure that that didn't happen. And so that's why they made the 14th Amendment, which was the so-called birthright citizenship. Now, if a invading army comes in and they have a kid while they're here, should that kid be an American citizenship? Be an American citizen? I think a lot of people think no. A lot of people think yes. I think that they're gonna have a hard time changing it. It's like herding cats, like I said.
Yeah, more like herding rhinos.
Well, yeah, right. So we're diving into the markets, AI ethics, and maybe a sushi bot demo if I can sneak one into the studio. Stick with us on the Impact Money Show. I have with us here the great Matt Dixon with the Market Watch Report. Sir Matt, how are you?
Hey, good, thank you. Welcome back, David. Good to see you.
Thank you, Matthew. Great to see you.
Yeah, good, thank you. Yeah, so we've got a lot to talk about. I'm going to dive straight into the markets, into my screen. So I'm going to share my screen as per usual. See what we've got for today. So it's interesting. We were predictive a little bit yesterday, and it's come out exactly as we expected. So we were right up here on the price yesterday of United Health. So this is one close to many people's hearts in America. And look at it, we've had 11% fall since yesterday. So we did say it was going to fall further. And this 1.618 extension to the downside was a potential term, but I did say at the time we could just go straight through there if this is actually a wave 3 down, which it appears to be. So no longer is it likely to be ABC. It's probably 1, 2, 3. That means there's more pain to come for United Health. So
that's rough.
Yeah, it's rough. It was actually a perfect Elliott wave count we went through yesterday with the first, basically wave 1 made up of 5 waves, followed all the rules. Wave 3 was exactly 2.618 times wave 1. Wave 4 didn't overlap into wave 1. It's a beautiful 5-wave move down to give us a wave 1. And then we're on 80 up for wave 2. Sorry, Bruce, go ahead.
I'm sorry, finish, and then I had a question.
No, go ahead. I love questions.
So let's say you're sitting in United Health. You want to slit your wrist at this point. What do you do? Do you dump now or do you hold?
Well, the problem is, if you've been following this from a chartist perspective, and even if you've been following our shows, you know that when you see 5 waves down, 3 waves up, basically the next move is going to be down, because 5 down is the direction, the impulsive direction. That's the direction of the trend. So that's 5 waves down. When you see 3 waves up, that's actually against the trend. Now, we also had, as I said yesterday, we had this hidden bearish divergence. So at this point here, it told you, as soon as you see a red candle, sell. So you should have done your selling or close your position right up here at 582. And we're now down at 200 and something. So now, you've lost 50% of your money already. So once you lost 50% of your money, it's almost shutting the stable door after the horse has bolted. So maybe it's a little bit late, because at this extended stage of the downward move, if you position yourself properly within your portfolio, you never allocate more than you can afford to lose in any particular asset. So you have to, there's legal challenges and all sorts going on with United Health. The CEO, exited just recently, just a few days ago. So there's nothing but bad news right now. And as Warren Buffett said, when there's blood in the streets, that's the time to buy. So I'm not suggesting this is the time to buy, but also, as I say, it's shutting the stable door after the horse has bolted. So the majority of the fall has probably already happened. So if you can afford it, I'd just now sit on it. I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't sell it. If you're in a position and you're in pain, losing money, hopefully, as I say, if you're positioned properly, it's not too much, and you just have to sit on it and hope there'll be a recovery at some point soon. Yeah. And you probably need to look at the wider markets as well. This has been fundamental data with United Health, which has caused this crash, really. It came from that level of 600 odd. We're now 60% down from the reasonably recent peak. It's only this year it was up there, so it only took him 4 months and it's crashed by that amount. A little bit late to take any action, I would think, right now. So that's United Health.
You're screwed, folks.
You're screwed. So just interesting. I've been looking around at signs of recession because, I'll just jump straight back to Bitcoin here. I've said, I'll just scroll out first of all, longer term, we're potentially approaching a potential double top here in Bitcoin. Now, a lot of people say we're going to bash straight through this previous high of 109,000, and we're going to push straight the way up to massive new all-time highs. Now, that's a possibility, but from this low point here, which was 74,000, I can see so far 5 waves higher, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which at that point would be impulsive. But interestingly, we're going through what's called a triangle now, which is a pre-terminal wave, and then we should expect a final terminal wave in this cycle. That would give us then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 waves is corrective. So that's telling me that we probably are going to go somewhere near double top, I suspect, and then we should get another substantial sell-off. Now, as I said yesterday, I don't want us to go below 69,000. That's a long, long way from where we are now. I don't want us to go below there because that would change the whole flavor of the whole interpretation, really, of the Bitcoin chart. And it would look quite bearish if we were to break that level. So I suspect we'll double top and we're going to push down after that. And as I say, my hope and expectation would probably be that even if we push down, we won't break 69. If it's double top, maybe we'll get some sort of regular flat correction and maybe go down again, maybe to around that 74 level. So these are big predictions that people don't want. They probably don't even want to hear. But you've got to be aware of what's likely to happen, what the chart's telling you. And as I say, this is a triangle. And if we just open it out, you'll see what I mean by that. Triangles are what are called consolidation patterns. We've seen them many times before in these shows, and they've been extremely predictive. They really are. It's my favorite chart pattern. It's the one that I love to trade out of an E-wave, because from the E-wave, you basically what's called a terminal thrust, and you can actually measure the expectation for the upside, but it's usually quite substantial. This is the chart pattern that I've made the most money in the shortest time throughout my 30-odd year trading history. This, for me, is the chart pattern that I love. So, as I say, we've got a consolidation pattern, which is basically a contracting triangle, contracting wedge, really, here. So A, B, C, D, E.
What hour are you on, or what day, or what is
this? This is a 4-hour chart.
4 hour, okay.
4 hours. So it's reasonable. I don't like to do charting really much less than 4 hours. I mean, you can do. The thing is, particularly with crypto, there's a lot of noise. And by noise, I mean there's a lot of erratic movement that you can't really make much prediction from it.
Oh, no. I mean, sometimes the markets, they'll just go wherever.
Yeah.
In those hour charts.
Yeah, and you get spikes that can spike you out of your positions. So when you're talking about 1 hour, it's short. So I do 4-hour charting is my is the shortest time frame I like to make any reasonable predictions on. Daily is really good. I mean, the way I do charting normally, I actually start at the longest term. So I'll start on a monthly chart. I'll look at the big picture to see where I think we're going overall in the long term. But then you go shorter and shorter and shorter. And every time you go to a shorter time frame, it has to agree with the larger time frame as you're going down and down the scale. But it gives you a much clearer, more accurate picture of actually where you are in the market. So when you come down to this relatively short time scale, as I say, we've got a very nice pattern here. So I would expect this consolidation pattern, which is basically a bull flag. A bull flag means that you're going to break higher out of this consolidation. And actually, when I say going to break higher, nothing is absolutely certain in trading, but the probability here is probably as high as 90% that you're going to break higher. But bear in mind, we haven't finished the E-wave yet, so there may be short term, really short term. We've probably got a little bit more downside to finish this E-wave. But then following that, as I say, if the E-wave finishes somewhere, I mean, E-waves is the only wave within the triangle that can basically under or overshoot, or certainly can overshoot the triangle trend line. So we've got, if we drew a little trend line on there, I'll just put it in now, the boundaries of this triangle, somewhere around there. So potentially, you can see I've got E-wave potentially coming down here. It can overshoot a little bit, it can undershoot a little bit. So E-waves are the most uncertain of the waves within the triangle, but somewhere around here, potentially, I think it's a good opportunity to go long Bitcoin. I would, as soon as it gets into a decent profit, I'll protect it. And once it approaches, getting up here somewhere, I would again protect again. So if we were to break through this previous all-time high, then all bets are off. We could go much higher. But as I say, the chances are this is going to be a terminal wave, which will take us higher, but then we'll see a reversal and possibly quite a sharp reversal. So there's lots of risks in there. I mean, I don't think necessarily AI is one of those risks right now, but you mentioned about what's going on with AI, about how advanced it's coming. David talked about putting us all out of a job in a nice way, giving us things to do, much more leisure time, etc., which might be good, but we've got to plan that really well. I actually wrote a thesis on this, believe it or not, about 25 years ago about what AI was going to do, and this is one of the issues that I mentioned, that we're going to have so much more leisure time. We're going to have to plan it out properly, and governments are going to have to effectively pay people to do nothing, pay people to have leisure. That's the way it's going to have to go, because eventually, if AI continues and robotics continues, all these jobs, like the ironing that David has to do every day, all these jobs are going to be done away, and he's going to have all the time in the world to do whatever he wants to do. Same with everybody, of course. I'm not picking on you, David, but we're going to have all the time in the world to do what we want to do, and it's got to be properly planned and organised by, well, really at government level, and hopefully. We won't have too much time on our hands to be focusing on war. Hopefully, we'll do away with war. But that's the other side of the AI, that if AI is used in the art of war, I say the art, it's disgusting, isn't it? But in the
Yeah.
art of war, as it were, then that could be quite worrying. And the fact that AI is beginning to think for itself already, talking to itself in other language that is outside of what we trained it to do.
Amazing. Like unbelievable. It's like mind-blowing, really, but it makes total sense at the same time.
Yeah, mind-blowing but worrying. So there's definitely
Yes.
two sides to everything. Like nuclear power, that it can be used for good, or it can be used with a nuclear bomb for bad. The same thing will be with AI. But the problem is, maybe with AI, we're not actually in control about what it's used for, because if AI is developing a real mind of its own, then that's something we've got to be worried about, because AI can actually potentially outthink us, outperform us in many ways, if not every way. So we've got to be very careful. There's got to be some safeguards put in place. It's already worrying that it's talking to itself in another language. Yeah, there's some serious worries there. So anyway.
So real quick before you go, I don't want you to move on to this, because I feel like I'm not clear. So I want everybody else to be clear as well, or maybe I am clear. So what you're saying right now is, with this wave count, that we will probably push down a little bit lower, then we're going to push higher, probably over the all-time high, and then pull back sharply.
My prime case at the moment, and as I say, there's no certainty, but this is the probability. I always work with probabilities. So the big probability right now is that we're probably going to see, a minor push down. Possibly today we'll see a little bit of a push down on Bitcoin, then another push up, maybe to challenge the previous all-time high at 109,000. So that's still, 6, 7, 8% if we dip down in wave E.
Oh yeah,
7 or 8% higher. Then we could potentially, the likelihood is we're going to see a serious dip. Now equate that just very quickly, Bruce, with, that's Bitcoin. You've got to fit all the pieces together. Does that fit with what we're seeing with other assets? Well, I won't even jump into S&P 500. Let's just look at Japanese yen, for example. You mentioned, it's interesting. Are we heading towards world recession? JP Morgan says there's now more than 60% chance we're heading for recession this year. That's JP Morgan. What are the signs? Well, we've seen massive yen strength, really. And even today, we had negative GDP figures out of Japan. So Japan is teetering on the edge of recession. And don't forget, Japan raised rates. And now I don't know what they're going to do, because they've got problems with inflation. They do have high inflation, and yet we have negative GDP. So Japan has got that age-old problem of fighting a big problem with, they can't lower rates. And this is stagflation, basically. When you've got stagnant growth, they've got negative GDP again. So they've got stagnant growth, and yet they've got inflation. And as I said, central banks want to tackle inflation first of all. That's the biggest problem they're facing, is potential inflation. So they will face inflation. This is why Powell in the US didn't want to lower interest rates, despite there beginning to be some signs of challenges to growth. And even Trump, I think Trump admits that these tariffs are going to cause, it's going to stifle growth, no doubt, and it'll push inflation up. So not only Japan, but I think the US, definitely Europe, most of the world are facing these challenges. US, I suppose, was, at least at the moment, inflation hasn't filtered through. But don't forget, inflation, these tariffs are inflationary. There's no doubt about it. They will push prices up, but they're not filtered in yet to the inflation figures. So we had Walmart yesterday came out and said they haven't even upped prices yet due to tariffs, but probably by the end of this month, they're going to. So that means Walmart is probably representative of many businesses across the US, and they haven't put the price hikes on yet due to tariffs. So if they put them on end of this month, that still doesn't mean that we're going to see it straight away in the inflation figures, because inflation is backward looking. So we're not going to see these problems with inflation for some time. But what I'm saying is these problems are storing up. We are going to see a serious hike in inflation. Fed Chair Powell is not going to be able to reduce interest rates. And we've actually seen that in the CME futures. We can actually see that here. 91.8% chance today that rates are going to stay on hold at the next meeting, 18th of June. Following that, the meeting after that, we've still got a massive majority, 63.3%, that rates are going to stay on hold for July, end of July, 30th of July. Then September, we just then start to see the likelihood is we may see a rate cut in September. But this is what I'm saying. Everything is very much backward looking. This is looking so far into the future. It's pretty much guesswork when you're looking that far, into September. But the foreseeable future is we're not going to see rate cuts because inflation isn't going to come through in, as yet. But we are going to start to see prices rise probably by the end of this month due to tariffs. So it is going to cause pain for consumers. For ordinary people, it's going to start to cause pain probably by the end of this month, but it will filter through into the figures sometime after that. And then, again, as we say, probably by September, they're going to be starting to worry. Growth will be falling off a cliff. And we're going to start to see problems about potential recession coming. And that's what I said all along. It's actually on my pinned message on my X feed that basically devastating recessions coming this year. I haven't deviated from that. I still believe that to be the case. And it's actually all lining up, with what we're seeing with Trump. As I say, all these deals that we mentioned yesterday. Let's see if these deals actually come through. Trump wants to hear all these great headlines, but they're just headlines at the moment. Let's just see if these actual deals are done and what they mean. And even with the geopolitics, Israel being sidelined is not necessarily a good thing because, again, when you corner a wild animal, and I don't mean that in a bad way, when you corner somebody, they come out fighting. Now, this is actually emboldening Israel's aggressors roundabout, and it's going to put them in a much stronger position. And there's no doubt about it, whatever your views on Israel, there's no doubt about it. Many of the surrounding neighbors want Israel gone. And Israel aren't going to lie down and take it easily. So there's plenty of geopolitical issues brewing, which can also be a cause of economic concern because it spills over. There's a link, obviously, between geopolitical and economic issues. So there's a lot of worries ahead. And that's why I say with Bitcoin, if we see this double top, just a little bit higher, potentially we're going to see some serious downsides. So we looked at dollar yen. I'm just going to jump very quickly back to dollar yen. Looking like we had a correction higher. And if we're pushing down, don't forget, if you're seeing dollar yen pushing down, if you're seeing a lot more yen strength, despite the fact that the Japanese economy is shrinking now,
right?
We have negative GDP, and yet the yen is strengthening. This is basically telling you there are worries there, and people are concerned about money that's being held in risk assets. I mean, why is it, Bruce, that Bitcoin's only 103,000? I mean, it peaked at 109. It's still 103 ages after that. And what do we see on the headlines every day? Money piling into Bitcoin, supposedly. But clearly
right.
It's not. Ethereum is, not a long way off 50% of its peak. I mean, we had that Petra upgrade in the beginning of April, gave it a 50% pump in price, something like that. And despite the 50% pump in price, we're still down, about 50% from the peak. Same with lots of other cryptos. They're not really going anywhere. So all the headlines that we're hearing, maybe they're trying to talk it up. I don't know. Again, if you look through the various cryptocurrencies, there's serious concern in my mind about where things are going because I don't see the actual follow through that we should be seeing. Bitcoin, in my mind, with the news that we're getting, should not be 103,000. We should already be into new all-time high territories. We've got the ETF, we've got institutions, we've got governments, everybody's piling into Bitcoin, yet the price
is very, very limited supply.
Absolutely. 21 million total ever. I mean, we've got probably best part of 20 million already out there. So we're already near maximum supply. It'll take another 100 years to get that final million out there. And so supply is pretty well at maximum supply already. So with that max supply, such a small supply, all this rumors of buying and Michael Saylor and everybody buying into Bitcoin, why isn't it sky high? What's your thoughts about that, Bruce?
I don't know, but that just reminded me of Hillary Clinton People ask me why I'm not 30 points ahead. I think that, I mean, obviously, yeah, you're right. There was a very revealing moment. I might have talked about it the other day on the show when we were at the family office event there in Dubai. And right before the panel there might have been 150, 200 people in the room, and they said, how many people own crypto? And like literally it was like 5 or 10 people. It was 5 or 10 people. So yeah, you got a guy like Michael Saylor, who's, really just, the biggest bull and everything else, and buying. But the average person, they still aren't buying crypto. They're still not buying it. So yeah, I mean, I think that we still have to retrace a lot. I think the bankers, what people also don't understand was, because I say to people, well, the bankers printed up a bunch of money and they bought all the Bitcoins. And then people they almost roll their eyes. You can see they kind of, oh, yeah, okay, of course. And they don't really realize, I guess maybe I should say they minted a bunch of USDT. Okay, does that make it easier for everybody? So, because everybody knows they mint USDT out of thin air. Does that make it easier for you? You know what I mean? Like, so the average consumer, the average retail trader, or the average retail investor really got left behind on this on a lot of this whole pump. And so even as you look around, the money's starting to come back into the space. It's starting to be better now and everything, but man, we are a far cry from where we were in 2021. We're a far cry.
Yeah, just the feeling amongst even the crypto people, even the DGMs, basically people they're still hurting because most of those popular coins, cryptos, are way, way below their previous all-time highs, and people were piling it.
Way below. It's like so much. I mean, I look at Litecoin. I'm like, Litecoin's $100.
Yeah.
Like, really? Like, Litecoin is $300. Litecoin should be $1,000. I don't know why Litecoin's not $1,000. I guess they'll probably keeping the prices down with the derivatives markets, just like they do silver.
Yeah, I'm just checking on while you mention it on the previous. On the actual high price of Litecoin. So Litecoin did go to $420, didn't it? $400. So we're 25% of it now.
It's like crazy. Yeah, like, and why? I don't get it. Like, Litecoin is the second most accepted cryptocurrency in the world. If you go somewhere in the world and you want to spend your crypto, the only other coin that you can have that is more widely accepted, or is at least on par, or the second one, is Litecoin.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically on very much the same model as Bitcoin. I don't quite understand why it's so cheap. As I say, the big one itself is really the canary in the coal mine for me, is Bitcoin. That we've got all this institutional interest. We've got, as I say, the ETF. We've had Trump coming out with the strategic crypto reserve. All the news is good. So when all the news is positive, and we're not seeing any major new all-time highs for these, even for Bitcoin, let alone the rest of them, we're not seeing new all-time highs. That for me is a big worry, because this is on the back of all the amazing positive news that we've got about crypto, risk assets, whatever, and we're not seeing new all-time highs there at all. So if some bad news starts to filter through, I think that we need to watch out below, personally. So I'm one of the few people who are saying that, and people don't like to hear it. As I say, they don't like to hear it, don't want to hear it, they don't believe it at the moment. But it's actually at times like this that you need to sometimes listen to those quiet voices out there that are saying something other than what people are saying in the market. Why would Bitcoin rally now when all the news is positive? And people come out with all this, the ones who love it, they come out with all the positive news. This is why Bitcoin's going to rally. Well, actually, it's already priced in. All this amazing news is priced into Bitcoin. Yeah. So what we need to look at is, what is the next news that's going to come out? Well, at the moment, all the positive news is out there. What more positive can happen? And this is why you see turns in price at peaks in the market. Because when all the good news is out there, all the people who are going to buy have bought. The moment you start to hear some bad news, that's what turns the price. And that's what we're seeing. And that's what, as I say, 30 plus years trading experience tells me, that all the good news is out there. Yes, we might see might even slightly breach the previous all-time high. Who knows? But these are the sort of things that get the last people in before a major tide turn, turn of tide, where you start to see the tide going out then for Bitcoin and so on. So again, people don't want to hear it, but that's my concern. Even with the oil price, for example, we can see oil price is looking to go lower. That will be based on oversupply and potentially diminishing demand as economies begin to slow. So that would probably tell us maybe some lower oil prices, but the rise that's maybe coming or likely coming after that, a massive pump in oil prices, would likely be due to geopolitical issues, not expansion of the economy and demand, etc. It would be due to geopolitical. So if we see oil price fall a bit further, yes, that's probably easier money and that kind of thing. Maybe a further diminishing of inflation short term. But as I say, inflation's going to pick up. And as I said at the start of the show, inflation is still diminishing at the moment because these tariffs haven't filtered through yet. But these tariffs, mark my word, these tariffs are bad. And they haven't been completely eliminated. They're still going to be filtering through. And Trump is actually saying they're only delayed for 90 days anyway. Tariffs are bad. The damage has been done. It's just not filtered through yet. So short term, we'll see a little bit more upward movement in the markets, I'm sure. I mean, even S&P 500, I believe we're going to see some more upward movement. But longer term, everything that's happening is for me flashing warning signals that we are in for some more downside. Even S&P 500 here, we've got 3 waves down, 3 waves up. We've got some hidden bearish divergence. It's telling us that lower prices to come. A little bit higher short term. If I go into that 4 hour that we mentioned earlier, I'll just shrink that a little bit. You can see I'm projecting a little bit higher for S&P 500. We can go all the way up to previous all-time high. So maybe it'd be like Bitcoin, challenge the previous all-time high around that 6,000, 6,001 area before a potential nasty little downturn that we would see. But if it is 3 down, 3 up, that's not so bad, because even if we see a nasty sell-off, a hard sell-off, at least it's just still a correction. 3 down, 3 up, and then 5 down is actually a correction, meaning that even then we would still see an eventual pump to new all-time highs. So whilst I'm expecting nasty corrections across the board, not immediately, but this year, nasty corrections, we should still recover from it all and push higher. So overall, long term, I'm still optimistic on things, but medium term, negative. Short term, we're going to get a nice little pump. So that's where we're at.
And I would like to remind everybody that, if the market's going down, you can also make a lot of money in that on 2bit, which of course you can hit the QR code or go to 2bit.com and use the referral code Impact Money. And you can make money either way in the market. You can make either way. Some of actually my best trades, I've shorted the market. Sometimes it's easier to short the market.
I mean, talking about, I've actually made more money in bear markets than bull markets over all these years. My biggest wins ever in terms of percentage gains were actually, it wasn't selling Australian against the yen. That was my biggest one back in 2008. But I've had I had an amazing year a couple of years ago. Did a phenomenal year. That was actually a bear market year that I traded. I wasn't selling actually. I was buying, but I was buying dips. So even in the bear market, you can still buy dips, even though the market overall might be going down. I prefer to be a buyer rather than a seller.
Yep.
Even in a down market, I prefer to buy dips. When you see a sharp dip, sometimes it's especially if it goes to a really important Fibonacci level, retracement level. I prefer to be a buyer. If you're selling, you've got potential infinite downside. If you're buying, if it goes wrong, you can actually just hold on to it until eventually it comes back up again. But if you're selling, you can actually get wiped out completely. Whereas a buy, you just have to huddle for as long as it takes to get your money back. And that's what people have been doing, by the way. You talked about, what people have done across the board. People are in pain. They invested in a lot of these altcoins.
Yep. Like Trump coin.
Yeah, even Trump coin, yeah. So, I mean, that's shocking. I don't want to go into that too much, but that's absolutely awful the way Trump benefited from that, pushing his own crypto coin, using his political office to do that.
We were talking about it in Dubai. If he just pumped the Trump coin, it would pump the whole market.
Yeah, well,
Probably would.
he already pumped it, didn't he? He used his political clout to pump. I mean, where is Trump coin? Let's just have a quick look at it before we go. It's here somewhere. I've got Trump coin here. I mean, there's Fart coin down 2.33% today. There's Trump coin. Actually, Trump coin's up a bit today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's in the Middle East. His buddies, everyone's buying.
Yeah, crazy but true. Yeah. Yeah, it's looking though. We may have had 3 down. Maybe we're going to still push a little bit higher on Trump coin. I don't think we'll ever get back to its all-time highs ever. But there's some potential short-term upside there. It's not one I'd invest in because I don't like memes at all. I like to invest in something that has some real utility and use behind it. Meme coins are just for a gamble. Again, you could invest in it, but just be a bit of money that you'd throw in, gamble, prepared to lose. But yeah, you could, some of these memes, you can make some serious X.
Serious X's. Some serious X's. There's no doubt about it. Either way.
Yeah. So that's about it for today, Bruce. Hope you have a great weekend, everybody.
You too, Matt.
Yeah. So thanks.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye for now.
Cheers. The great Matt Dixon with the Market Watch Report. As I always say, world-class analysis that we get here on a daily basis on the Impact Money Show. Dave, it's great to have you on here. I have queued up our friend Sheeraz. I have our interview with Sheeraz Hasan, the infamous Sheeraz. David and I, we did this interview. Dave was behind the camera on this one, but we did this interview in Dubai. And it's pretty interesting. I think let's go ahead and play this here.
And we are live here at the Global Family Office Investment Summit, the 25th edition, I believe. They've been doing
25
this.
years, right here in Dubai.
Right here in Dubai. We're at the beautiful Mandarin Oriental in downtown Dubai. I have with me here Sheeraz Hasan, who has an amazing story, an amazing way of working with people. So we wanted to have an interview and talk to you a bit. So tell me a little bit about yourself and what brought you here to the Global Family Office.
My name is Sheeraz Hasan. I'm the founder of Fame by Sheeraz. My philosophy in life is money follows fame. The more famous you are, the more money follows. Very simple. I'm been in the business for over 25 years.
Yep.
In the media space, based in Los Angeles and Dubai. I was the media strategist for Kim Kardashian for over a decade. Zendaya, Logan Paul. I've worked with Justin Bieber, Priyanka Chopra, Paris Hilton, with all the 3 biggest crypto exchanges based out here in Dubai as well. Anyone who's looking for fame, anyone who's looking for influence, amplification, I get that phone call, and that's why I tattoo fame on my hand. That's what I do.
Well, it's really cool. I mean, the names kind of speak for themselves. I mean, Kim Kardashian, what is she like to work with?
Great. I mean, I worked with her when she was Paris Hilton's assistant.
Okay.
When she was absolutely nobody. No one even knew her name. And then for almost 15 years, I was strategically worked with Kim and her mother and all the family as well. And remember, there's always a fame strategy behind the chaos.
Okay.
There's whatever you see something in the news, wherever you see something being amplified, there's a strategy behind it, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I do. I give that blueprint of what moves. I'm almost like your Google Maps for fame. The fast way to get to it. Whatever you want. Doesn't matter if you're promoting a crypto project, you're promoting a movie, you have a brand, someone Googles your name, someone puts you into ChatGPT. I make sure it's what you want to be seen on ChatGPT and on Google. Not that you Google your name and there's someone else that's going to be looking like you, or you click on images, who the hell is that? You click on news, there's some scandal story. No, I control the narrative of some of the richest people in the world. That's what I do.
Oh, it must be such a rewarding...
25 years of bullets, brother.
Right.
It doesn't come easy, man.
It doesn't. How did you get started doing it?
So I, born in London, restaurant business.
Okay.
When I was 16 years old, I had a restaurant that was not making any money. I had a vision to open 24 hours. And I met one guy on the radio station. And that one guy, literally when I met him, He became one of my customers. I did a very simple deal with him. I feed you, you promote me. I said, I don't have the money, but I want you to help me. And at that age, I literally took my restaurant from zero to hero. And it was the birth of the word influence.
Yeah.
I saw someone who had a microphone and it drove my revenue crazy. And that was back in the days of the radio. Then after that, I built the restaurants, moved to Los Angeles. I built a TV show that promoted Hollywood to Bollywood. I then ran the largest paparazzi network in the world called Hollywood TV. I controlled every single celebrity's movements in LA. I was Big Brother in Hollywood. So any breaking news that you would see, from Daily Mail to TMZ to CNN, AP, Reuters, we were feeding that beast of Britney Spears, Michael Jackson dying. You were the craziest stories in the world. I was the mastermind behind all of that. Then after that, I started working directly with the celebrities, bringing them to the Middle East, bringing them to India and all over MENA region. I brought Kim Kardashian to the Dubai Mall, over 250,000 people. Yeah. Logan Paul, 200,000 people. Zendaya shut the mall. So I'm the disruptor, right? Yeah. So when you call me, it means that I'm going to amplify and I'm going to disrupt, and the entire world will know, and we go viral.
Amazing.
So I built that brand in LA.
Right.
So stars come to me. You know, they come to me for money or fame.
Yeah.
One or the other.
One or the other. So then how does it work as far as, I don't know how much you want to share, but I mean, how much does something like it cost for someone who may want to take your services?
The thing is, you've got to look at someone like Kim Kardashian, right? Or you look at someone like Logan Paul. We took their fame, we amplified their fame, and today, by the way, they're both billionaires. Yeah. Right? So there's no like one size fits all in fame. It just doesn't exist.
Right.
What I do is I spend 30 days with the client and figure out, what do you want? What do you really want? Are you willing to do it? Are you willing to take the sacrifice, the strategies, and many things you have to sacrifice if you want to become famous? So I first go through that due diligence process, 30 days. It's almost like you have a toothache, you go to a dentist, right? You have a health problem, you go to a doctor. Right. When it's fame, I lift the hood, put on my fame goggles, and understand exactly what someone needs in their fame, and then I fix and make the tweaks, and then I put them on the road to stardom.
It's pretty amazing. I have met a lot of people, and I haven't met anybody that...
There's only one fame strategist in the world, and he's sitting here talking on your show.
That's amazing.
That's what I do.
Well, I know there's a lot of people here that this is very interesting for.
So why am I here?
How are you getting reception?
In family offices? Why? It's because the new celebrities are CEOs, entrepreneurs, and founders. They are the new rock stars today.
Yep.
So when you're a founder and you want to try and raise money, you need to be famous. Yep. You need to have influence. You need to have an impeccable, ChatGPT, Google presence. You're so relevant. Someone's going to want to invest in you.
Right.
If you're an investor that you've invested in somebody, guess what? They're going to need amplification.
Yep.
So my business is, by the grace of God, the last couple of years has exploded. I don't even have time for celebrities because entrepreneurs, CEOs, and founders. So I travel the world, and I've got some of the biggest, like I said, crypto clients. 3 biggest crypto exchanges my hands have touched. Those exchanges in the form of amplification and media. Founders, I've raised hundreds of millions of dollars for people who didn't have any money. I elevate their fame, elevated their pitch, got everything down on what I call the fame investment. Once they've mastered that, we go help them raise money and close deals. So that's why family offices invite me to speak in many places, is because it's very important. I've met so many people here today. Imagine you have a whale here who's got so much money. Guess what? You ain't got your elevator pitch down.
Right.
Missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Someone Googles your ass. Guess what? You don't even exist.
Right.
Why am I going to cut you a check? I Google you and you don't even pay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I had to educate a lot of the entrepreneurs here for this last couple of days, that if you're going to close, get your pitch ready.
Right.
What do you bring to the table?
Yeah.
What's your X factor? And you've got 15 seconds. That 15 seconds can change your life.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm here, educating family offices, educating some of the richest people or rising founders and entrepreneurs of the right path to close a deal and GTM, get the money.
Get the money. Well, it's interesting as well. You say, I mean, you're really hands-on for the whole process now.
I have to. I have a full team. Without my team, obviously, I can't do what I do. But, I'm the guy that's aim and shoot. I'm the sniper.
Yeah.
I don't do the machine gun approach. Is it going to work? Am I going to do PR? That's the target. Go. And it took me 25 years to understand where that target is.
Yep. Now, are you finding Dubai to be like the hottest place at the moment?
Absolutely. I've been coming in and out of Dubai for the last 15 years.
Yep.
Right now, it's the magnet.
It is.
Right? It's the magnet.
crossroads, I
Everyone
call it.
in the world. I've got every single top agent, manager, publicist, all in Hollywood, calling me every week. Sheeraz, find us opportunities in Dubai, in the Middle East, across MENA. So it really is the kind of magnet now for the rest of the world, and it's the safest place to live.
It is.
It's absolutely stunning, very westernized, having it still remaining with the culture, and more importantly, they're beautiful people.
Yeah.
And the business is thriving in Dubai.
The business is thriving. It's a great place to do business. Well, thanks so much for coming on. Super interesting. Obviously, I want to talk to them.
If you want fame, Instagram is at Sheeraz, Sheeraz, and my website is famebysheeraz.com. So if you're really looking for fame, you got to be ready. If you're ready, fame, lovely being on the show, guys.
Cheers.
Okay, brother.
Hey, Randy, I got another home run for us, man. This 2-bit exchange is absolutely amazing.
Hey, Bruce, what's up, man? Yeah, why don't you tell me about that 2-bit exchange?
Yeah, that's right. And we're going to be able to list our coins that we want that we support. And they're going to be on this amazing derivatives platform. It's absolutely awesome.
Derivatives? I love derivatives. I can't wait to be on the trade copy program.
What I want you to do is set up an account and then send me your UID, and let's set you up with a trade copy system, and you just let it run. Copy our trades. That's it. Easy peasy.
So you want me to open an account, send you my user ID, and you hook me up with the trade copy system. I can't wait. Sounds spectacular.
Hey, Matt. Hey, listen, I met with the guys at 2-Bit Exchange while I was in Dubai, and this platform really looks amazing.
Yeah, hi Bruce. Yeah, thank you again for that heads up. I mean, I've looked into this 2-bit platform. It does appear to have everything we're looking for.
Yeah, that's right. 2-Bit, Toobit. They have great liquidity. They have futures platform. There's a lot of functionality that I think you're gonna like on there. And they really want to work with us. They want to work with the Impact Money Show. And as you and I both know, if they have a good product and they want to work with us, well, hey, that's half the battle.
I mean, basically, I love that copy trade facility. I love the features on the platform. It's basically very simple to use.
Our viewers only need to set it up to copy our trades, and they just do all the trades that we do. Makes it really easy for people to participate. I think they're going to love it. I'm pretty excited about it.
And yeah, it's definitely going to benefit people. I mean, obviously with all the years of experience that we can pack into it, and people can basically benefit from that. Yeah, I definitely think it's a goer.
Hey, David. Yeah, man, I'm excited about it too. I mean, when you think of the ways that we can help our viewers earn money and be able to participate in the monetary revolution, this 2-bit platform just opens up all kinds of doors that they don't have right now.
Hey, Bruce, I'm checking out this platform. It's revolutionary.
That's absolutely correct. And the futures platform is amazing. Great liquidity. And the copy trader program, people are going to be able to make the trades exactly when we make them and make the money that we make. It's a win-win for everybody.
Open for U.S. customers, and you can deposit money with the credit or debit card. Doesn't get better than this.
Beautiful. And what do you think we should use as a referral code?
I think we should use Impact Money. That's the one. Impact Money.
Your voice is powerful. When combined with social engagement, it's a force for change. Decentralized media paired with free speech is the catalyst for an empowered world and a unified, invaluable ecosystem. Join Global Boost, become a champion of free speech, and help to reshape the future of media.